Tong, where are you? Are you coming? Oh shit, he's late again. Oh, there you are. All right. Tong, how's it going? Good of you to make our train today. I wasn't sure if you're going to catch the train or not. Welcome to season 2 of the TnE podcast. We are in season 2, which is going to be called FieryTopics. And it is called FieryTopics because we're going to talk about some controversial stuff. So for episode 1 today, kimchi. There's a lot of controversy around, is kimchi from Korea or is kimchi from China? Let's get into it. Today with Tong here, we're going to be talking about this first article on Quora, which he actually wrote. It's titled, Why Are South Korea and China Fighting Over Kimchi? All right, just to get off on the right foot, Tong and I both full-heartedly believe that kimchi is from Korea. It is totally different ingredients, which we're going to go into first. Tong, tell us about some of the difference of the ingredients between Paocai and kimchi.
So Paocai and kimchi, I think the reason why some Chinese people are claiming that they're the same is because they come from the same base ingredient, which is cabbage, fermented cabbage. But as you can see, the way that different foods differ from each other is not only the base ingredients, but it's also the way the method of preparation and the other additional condiments and ingredients that you put on top of it. The thing about kimchi is, if you look at the pictures there, you can see clearly there's red peppers in it. It's Korea's most iconic food. We all know that Korean food is spicy. So the key ingredient of kimchi is red peppers. So Paocai, in contrast, you can go down, does not have red peppers in it. And Suancai as well as the other image down below. So neither of these foods, these are both Chinese cabbage, right? They're all different dishes of cabbage using the same base ingredient. But neither of them have red peppers. If you go down even more, there's sauerkraut as well. Another dish that is using fermented cabbage. All these dishes are using fermented cabbage as the base ingredient. As you can see, they're all very different because the method of preparation is different. The way they cut it, chop it is different and prepare it. And there's no red peppers as in kimchi, so they're all very separate from kimchi.
That's right. Tong, remind us, what is red peppers in Korean?
Gochu.
Gochu, but what is the sauce specifically that they put in the kimchi? Gochujang. Okay, right. So I mean, that's I don't know how to. Do you know how to say anchovy in Korean? I don't.
Yeah, there's some other ingredients like anchovy and stuff in it, but
that's right. So I mean, that would be the biggest thing to highlight is they use gochujang, which is the red pepper paste, and they also put anchovy or dash fish sauce, which gives it like a much more complex, deeper flavor. I'm pretty sure that Paocai and Suancai do not use fish sauce or anchovies.
Any of these dishes, like I think if you tried Chinese food, you tried Paocai or Shantai before.
I've tried Paocai. I've been in China. I've been in Taiwan. I lived in Taiwan 2 years. Okay, so I have some real Asia cred.
It's the same as kimchi.
It's totally different. Paocai is totally different. So we just want to say all this controversy around on the internet saying that Paocai is the same as kimchi. It's totally not the same. In addition, like as far as making kimchi, Koreans will put kimchi into pots, like into huge pots underground or in storerooms, and it'll sit for a super long time. That's something we could have researched as well, but I think that Koreans have the kimchi sitting for much longer, as far as I know, because the fermentation process takes longer because you have the fish sauce. It creates a much deeper flavor, whereas you have Paocai and Suancai, these don't have as many ingredients and you don't have that complex of a flavor.
Yeah, so you can see that Suancai and Paocai, they look very simple rather, right? They're very simple ingredients. They don't, maybe they're not fermented as long. And of course it tastes very different.
I'm willing to bet on it. Yeah, I would say Paocai and Suancai are not fermented nearly as long, and they don't need that complexity of ingredients, which is what we get with kimchi. Kimchi has a much deeper, much spicier. It's much more like multi-angled flavor, whereas Paocai, it tastes more just like cabbage that you boiled for a bit and maybe put a little vinegar on, right? Is that approximate?
Yeah, I mean, all these are pickled fruits, but they're all different in their own way. Sauerkraut's also a pickled fruit, but the way they do it is also different as well. You can see it's very thinly sliced. Also very not many other ingredients other than just the cabbage itself. So I mean, I think kimchi has the most complex flavorings out of all these.
Yeah, by far, by far. Nothing can compare to as like kimchi's like complex flavor. So I would say the origin, because of what Korea has done with it and made it so complex, I would say by far there's no compare. Like they're totally different, and there's no way that it doesn't seem reasonable at all for China to say that kimchi is from China, because it's totally different. All right, so give us some comments below. Give us your best arguments below, but I'm firm on kimchi being from Korea.
Well, let's see. If there's an article about a Korean mukbang YouTuber that's part of a Chinese agency. And mukbang, just to explain to people out there what mukbang is, it's basically when someone streams themselves eating food, and it gets a lot of people interested, because I guess a lot of people like watching others eat food. And this Korean mukbang YouTuber is part of a Chinese agency, and you see in the article comments below, all she did was she didn't claim actually that kimchi was Korean or Chinese. She just liked a comment. All she did was she pressed the like button on one of the netizens' comments.
That's right.
And yeah, subsequently she was fired from her agency. What do you think about that?
That is, it's absurd. And this is definitely a case of like the media agency, being fully, I would say, controlled probably by the Chinese government. And in this case, they're claiming something that the agency or someone in the agency, or maybe generally cultural-wise, Chinese don't believe that kimchi is Korean for a very strange reason. And so that they fired her. I think that's totally unreasonable. That's ridiculous. All right.
And she was apologize for it later on, which is totally ridiculous.
Yeah, why? So did she choose to apologize of her own volition, or did they force her to apologize?
I think she was forced to apologize. In Chinese, you can see the second paragraph, Chinese netizens, they keep posting malicious comments on their mukbang videos. Even though they apologized, but the Chinese netizens did not stop posting the malicious comments. So there's a lot of vicious people out there.
That's right. So I mean, especially in Korea and in China, right? You find these like people that are, especially bots, right? Even on your Quora articles, I notice a lot of bots tend to get on there and make a lot of malicious comments, which are completely, seems like they're run from the Chinese government. Seems like there's some inside PR or whatever you call it. What do you even call that? Propaganda? Baby propaganda engine?
Yep.
Basically, it's like funded by the CCP. It's basically propaganda engine that's in there, and it's like putting these comments up. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, make your own comments. Don't use bots to post on Quora. It's really lame. Sorry, dudes. This is 2021. Use your own mind. Put your own shit on Quora. Don't use like bots and crap. That's really lame.
It's funny because you have all these Chinese bots, and they use like Western social media like Quora, Facebook, YouTube. They have to use VPNs to actually be able to post these comments. And
That's right.
Always, yeah, and it's ironic, right? It's like they have to do that because the Chinese government apparently gave them these VPNs to post on these Western social media to defend them.
That's right. And that's a whole nother topic we'll definitely go into, is talking about probably state censorship, Chinese government censoring, access to any of these Western media resources, Google, Facebook. I mean, that's another topic, which we'll get into next time, or in a few episodes later. But this has been just a quick chat about why kimchi is from Korea. In the next episode, we're going to be talking about dating differences in China versus Korea. Until then, this has been TnE, and like and subscribe, put some crazy comments below. See you later.